we are so excited because he brings so much to the table, so much mentorship from not just ACN standpoint, health-wise, mental-wise, spiritual-wise. Also, we're just so thankful for him because, you know, he has just been a leader. And I tell you what, I'm gonna say it again. One of the best presentations, SVP promotions I've ever seen in my lifetime was his, with Marvin Sapp singing and brought the house down. Those got a blessing to see that. That was when Miss Williams like, yeah, that was powerful. And not only that, he had Les Brown on the other side of him. I'll probably talk about this the day I die because that was such a phenomenal be able to witness that. And then also seeing the character of the man and also seeing what he's brought to so many people's lives and what a great following he has. Without further ado, my dear friend, Senior Vice President from the Southern California area, the one and only Mr. Byron Nelson.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How you doing?
And if I'm my voice, but I'm awesome. You know, we could spend all day. I'm gonna call this Question Friday. I could talk about Mr. Al Thomas till the sun comes home. I love this man. You know, that's why I love getting on this call. When you can do business with, and I'll lead that with the topic if you want. And that is, if you can do business with people you love, you respect, you look up to, they have character, they're fun. You got to have fun. Shit, I don't even know what y'all doing. Everybody's serious. You gotta have fun. You know, people you let in your house. You know, I just had this conversation about a week ago. I want to watch my words carefully. If you're going to be the leader of your organization, you need to build your family. Don't ever count on somebody else to do your work or build your family. I'm gonna leave it there because I could go down an alley, but just, you know, after you're 18, you pick your family. Sit up there and tell me, you know, it's like, well, my cousin, my sister wouldn't get on, call my mama. You know, I mean, buy them a house and then see who's gonna pick up the phone. I bet you they'll all get on the service. You ain't gonna worry about them getting on the service if you paying the mortgage. But you know, build your family and build your organization, build your squad, do your work. You don't have to worry about, you know, if you're really going beyond the call of duty, you'll never have a shortage of customers. That sounds crazy, but it is what it is. If you're always going beyond the call of duty, you know, in life as a servant leader, you'll never have a shortage of customers. So, but this is Question Friday, meaning I don't want to think. So if you had a chance to just ask any question you want to know about me, about my business, about your business, about how to have a breakthrough, this is your best day of your life to be able to ask that question. Or Mr. Thomas is going to get his wish and have the shortest call ever with Mr. Nelson. You guys can unmute, by the way. I think Bree can let you guys unmute.
Good afternoon, Mr. Nelson. How are you? This is Sherry in Florida.
How are you, girl?
I'm blessed. How are you, sir?
Blessed and highly favored.
Of course. The quick question, the statement or the wisdom that just dropped on us about being a servant leader, can you give us some examples of what that is so we can have a plethora of customer choices like you say?
Yeah, you see somebody that's old walking across the street, you help them across the street. Somebody serves you well in a restaurant, you give them an extra tip. You know, somebody's trying to find their way, whatever it's going to see. Here's what's crazy. Thank you, by the way. That will, you'd be amazed what comes out of a question. Once you set your intention on gratitude and servant leadership, I was having this conversation about a specific individual yesterday. And she went through a situation where she had to break out the window of her car to get away from some people that were trying to accost her for trafficking. As tragic as that sounds, and I don't want to see anything happen to anybody, it's not the first time this year. Knowing the conversation behind the woman, if it happens once, okay, but 2 or 3 times, and some other, and it's like every week there's a major tragedy, some going on in her life every week, accident, you know, something, just something. You can call, you manifest you are the author of your life. For something to happen every week, there's an energy. It's almost like a pheromone. You're putting something out in the universe. You're attracting something. You know, and I'm a firm believer of that. I don't want to see anything, but there's people that I've had to sever my ties with because I don't want to be a casualty of an incident. I don't want to be part of something that I wasn't in, that wasn't even my problem. You know what I'm saying? I prefer to be over here and pray for you than constantly put myself in harm's way. But you got to listen to people. I mean, they are truly the orchestrator of their own success or the orchestrator of their own failure based on how you manifest and what you actually put into the universe. You know, I think that combined with little mistakes. I did an investment deal this morning, and just at the slightest, no big deal. It's like, it is a big deal, but it's no big deal. Me moving so fast and wanting to be here, because I usually move slow in the morning, it cost me for just the fact that I did that. I didn't have to, you know, I was just like, that just cost me money. Yep. But ACM put me in a position to make gains and losses like that on quick decisions. Does that make sense? Everybody follow me on that so far? You know, so hopefully that helps, Sharon. It's like really when you put something intentionally into the universe, when you wake up, you know, so my intention this morning is to move slower and help more people.
Mr. Byron, Mr. Nelson.
Yes, sir.
This is Ismael Arredondo here in Solid, California.
How are you?
Hi. You just brought me a question that I had in the back of my mind, but you just brought it up right here. I have 2 questions. Number 1, how do you start the business? I mean, you are so a machine, human monster being to attract people in such a way. And the second question is, how do you have a shield, a skin so thick that when people come to you and say, this is not what, this is crazy, this is not, you're not, no, all negative, and you just have to repel it, right? And it took me about sometimes hours to realize that, well, these guys really don't get it. What's going on with these people? I don't know.
So I'm a reverse engineer answer that question, going from backwards to front. On the back end, the longer you do something, the more it doesn't bother you. So how do I overcome the emotions of other people? I've learned to laugh at everybody. I'm getting in. Let's see what you do. I'm not getting in. Stupid. You don't even see the opportunity. Why are we here? It's nice meeting you. I just learned to laugh at everybody and everything and have fun. Because see, I'd already made a decision for myself. So once you make a decision, all you can do is laugh and enjoy. Well, you could cry, but it's a choice. But the more you do anything, I don't care if it's pray, I don't care if it's fast, I don't care if it's roll a joint, I don't care if it's put a needle in your arm, I don't care if you do anything consistently over a period of time, you're going to get used to it. Anything. So for me, I made a decision a long time ago. I'm not going anywhere based on someone else's emotions and opinions and decisions. I'll say that again. I'm not going anywhere based on somebody else's emotions, opinions, and decisions. Now, in regards to doing business, that, you know, That was a mouthful, but I'll give you the real simple answer of how you become successful at anything. And that is be extraordinary at making decisions. Whatever, and the one who makes the most mistakes makes the most money. So if you want to get great at doing business, make a decision to go and get 10 customers today, fail and get 5. Make a decision the next day to go get 10 customers, fail and get 6. Make a decision the next day to go get 10 customers, fail and get 3. Make a decision the next day to go get customers, fail and get 2. But after that 4 days, guess what happened? You got 10 customers. Oh my God, you still hit your goal. But so you didn't really fail. So you didn't get 10 in a day. Who cares? You got 10. So you didn't graduate in 5 years. Who cares? You graduated in 10. Nobody asked you how long it took you to graduate. Nobody asked you how long it took you to get your doctorate. Nobody asked you how long it took you to do anything. Complete what you set out to do. That's the machinery. It's an amazing machinery in deciding to do what you need to do. Just, with the decision comes an action. It's amazing. I have it just, certain people just will figure out a way. You ask them to do something, they just figure out how to get it done. They just figure it out. They just figure it out. And they figure it out. That's me. And you don't, you go and ask, you go into Home Depot and you ask for a specific screwdriver. They work there. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to show you where the screwdriver is. They don't have a screwdriver. Do you get mad at the person who doesn't know where the screwdriver is? Maybe they're new. Maybe they've been there a long time. Maybe they say it's not their department. You go somewhere else. You go to Lowe's. Go find your screwdriver. That's the way I am with people. Can you get this done? No? Excellent. I'll find somebody who can. I don't make a person wrong because they don't finish what they're going to finish. I don't get done what they're going to get done. I just find somebody who's going to get it done. It's a simple task. Who's going to work like hell with me, not make me do all the work, but work with me to get the job done. If I start working more than I'm having fun, I usually pull back. And I find somebody else who I can have fun with who's going to make it fun for me, not work for me. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me on that so far? Find people who you can have fun with and work with, and they're excuseless. They have no excuses. They have nothing but reasons. And when they call, you just smile. And Al Thomas calls, I smile. When Bree calls, I smile. If Julian calls, I smile. Find people when the phone rings, you're like, it's going to be a good call. Not, it's going to be more work. Because when you're on purpose, it doesn't even seem like work. But there's some people, you either got to work on them or work on their business. And both of those are not fun to me. So, I actually had a person I was working with, this new person. I'm in phase 1. So I have one sniper group, and then I have one Navy SEAL group. The Navy SEAL group is my phase 1 team, of which I'm sponsoring 5 brand new people. There's one person, I called him and I got him started like about a week, 8 days ago. 8 days ago he started. And I said, this is how you peak. This is how you pass. This is how you do enrollment conversation. And he's never done network marketing. So 3 days later, he calls me back. He said, I peaked. I didn't pass. I enrolled. I registered. 5 people signed up. 3 of them were qualified. Did I do something wrong? I know I didn't pass, but I didn't want to burden you. I was like, no, whatever you're doing, you just keep doing it. I call him every day. But the main thing is he understood the peak. He understood the past was the enrollment conversation. And I told him I've been teaching the enrollment conversation for the past, 120 days. He said, that just seems like, why I understand why you have to teach enrollment, but I don't want you doing the enrollment conversation. He said, I want you to close them out and take them to another level. He's a business owner. So I want you guys to get that. I know how to peak. I know how to enroll. I know how to even close them. But when I put them on the phone with you, I want you to take them to the next level. I want, when you talk to them, I want them to go get 20 customers and bring 5 in. Not when you talk to them, I want you to get them in and sign them up. And it was an amazing conversation to be able to, once I've been in a hole working with one team for so long that I hadn't been in phase 1, made a decision on October 1st to get into phase 1. That's why it's been 8 days. And I signed up 6 new people, put in another group. And I was like, okay, this is not what this group is doing. Let me elevate my game. And this is what I want this team to do. And 2 people are already doing it. And it's like, boom, results. So I'm up in my frequency, my game, and my expectation of who I work with. I'm not letting go of the current crew. I've already let go of 95%, 98% of my team. So I'm working with a very small cast in both sittings. But my January 1st was on October 1st. So now it's like, I set my intention of 100 IBOs. I'm like, who's going to help me get 100 IBOs? And do it seamlessly, have fun doing it, qualify, and open line production. Not give up or feel like they're defeated or feel like they've been beat up if they don't do what they need. You're going to do what you're going to do. Just get your tool shed and know who you know, you don't throw away one tool because you just make sure. It's like, okay, I'm gonna build this house and I don't have all year to do it because winter is coming. So if I don't build it, I'm gonna freeze. So I got about 2 to 3 months before the cold of winter kicks in. So I'm gonna need more equipment. And that's when you don't get upset and you aren't fazed by what anything or anyone else does, but what you do. Phase 1 is what you do. It's never making somebody else wrong. Understand what I'm saying? Phase 1 is what you do. Phase 1 is what I do, what I do, what I do. And by being who I am, I become the example for the right people to step up. The wrong people are still going to just step in they're going to keep stepping in the horse crap. I said, hey, look, no, we need to pick that up. We need to get that manure out the way. It's stinky. Great question, though. More questions? Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Unmute you somewhere. I got you, fam.
All right. So with that being said, and I think a lot of the leaders understand the part that you're saying, it's up to me, it's up to me, it's up to me. Could you explain the time when you figure this part out? Because I really believe, like with Ishmael and some others, that maybe it might be this. So you're talking about Home Depot or Lowe's. When you go in the Home Depot and you ask the person, do you know where this is? And they say no, you walk away. You don't try to think about why don't they know? You don't get stuck on it, right? So oftentimes what I've seen on this calls with a lot of people is they get stuck hoping that the person that's in front of them right now in Home Depot says, I know where it is. And if they don't, it means that Home Depot doesn't work.
Right.
Or there are no tools here.
Right.
Even though there are tools everywhere. So when did you get to a point where you realize my movements are based on where I want to go, not this person in front of me's answer?
Right. It's the combination of I combine, and I had to replant myself, Jay. I had to replant myself in a different environment. A different mentality. That's why I'm really excited about being able to see Mr. Al Thomas and Bree soon. But it's a mentality. The people that I'm dealing with, I don't know if you guys have heard of the I can't even think, it's too early. The people I'm surrounding myself with, they think on a massive level, on a mega level, or like on a mega level. And I had to replant myself because of the COVID and everything else, being isolated and doing Zooms. I had to reset and resurge people around me who thought on a different frequency. I can't even explain it because a person who hasn't done it or isn't doing it it's not going to get it. But to your question, I take it from the Bible and I take it from the civil rights movement. From the Bible, he said, if you walk in and they don't hear my message, then turn around and walk out. And if they don't hear you, I will turn you into a pillar of salt. I take it to a civil rights or even back to a sharecropper. A lot of people don't know the difference of slavery, sharecropper, and civil rights. There's segments, there's layers to this game, right? I'll never forget my mom who told me the story. And what was crazy is I heard the same story laying at the foot of Les Brown. Of his was about being tarred and feathered when he looked out the window and he saw a black man pinned to the car, completely tarred and feathered from head to toe. And when he was out and about to drink from a white water faucet, and then his mother hit him so hard, literally beat the life out of him in front of the entire public. And he didn't understand. He's like, she nearly killed him right there. When they got home, she was in such tears because she wanted to apologize for the pain she had put onto him. And he was still just twisted and confused until he got older. And he asked, he's like, of all the times you've never touched me like that before, you've never hit me like that before. I've done nothing but love. If you ever hear him, he's his baby's mom. That's our child. He's May's baby. It's in his slogan. So it's like anybody's ever heard any of his CDs or tapes. So I'm sitting there literally at the foot of his couch. It's just me and him. He said, when I went back later, a few years later, and asked my mom about this, she said there was a police officer that was walking towards them. And had she not done that, the police officer would have killed him. So she had to do that to save him. I relate to that conversation on so many ways in our business. Obviously, it's an extreme metaphor. My mom actually grew up in the transition of slavery to sharecropping. This is a little bit graphic. I'm sorry, you guys, but it is what it is. They used to, when you wouldn't eat, because they would do that as rebellious slaves, would not eat to rebel. And so because they were livestock, treated as animals, they would actually take pliers and pull out each tooth at a time and then put a funnel down your mouth and make you eat. And she saw that. So I live in spaces of things that I've seen and the things that I've experienced and people that are close to me, what they've experienced as a calling, not even a luxury, but a demand on my life. It's really, I can talk to you about the stories that I know of people that I've heard firsthand from the Holocaust and the Jewish people. I can tell you what people have done with dealing with Russia or the Great Wall in China. The people that I've dealt with, they've been through so much pain. They don't know anything else but to live an extraordinary life, where other people take just breathing air for granted. They take the luxury of being able to vote for granted. They take having this opportunity for granted. I'll never forget, Renata was working 90 hours. I said, get 50 customers. She got 52. I said, put 35 people in the room within 7 days. She put 45. She doesn't even speak English at this point. She was speaking broken English. When I walked into a room in which nobody spoke English. They were all Russian. She said, you just said, put them in the room. I asked other people, they can't put 5 people in a room for me. I travel from country to country, city to city. They can't even get 4 or 5 people on a Zoom at one time. I didn't say get the most extraordinary people, the ugliest people, the richest people, the whitest people. I didn't say get the most successful people. I said get 20 people on a freaking Zoom call. They don't even have to leave their freaking living room. They don't have to go anywhere. Get 20 people. I'll get you 20 grand. I got a nickel and I don't know. And it's not mad at the shed and at the tools. I got to build a house for my house. I need a legacy. My dreams are too expensive to play in a penny dime world. And I'll have 18 months to give birth to a child that's supposed to come out 9 months ago. My dream is too big. I got triplets. I have patience, but I don't have stupidity. I'm a now person. I don't understand. If Ray says, I'll work with you, all you got to do is get 20 customers and 20 prospects in 7 days. Done. You got 40 and 40. I don't even know how it's going to happen. I got a mother in the hospital. I got a sister over here. I got my girl over here. I don't know how. It's done though. Not I'm going to do my best. You tell me to show up somewhere, I'm showing up. You tell me to do something, I'm doing it. I was on the call with the home office. I can't wait for my private training on my birthday weekend. About a week. For like 3 hours. And I wanted to know specific things to help people calibrate and move on their business. But I needed that information for people who are going to do it without question and get it done, not do their best. I said, I'm putting together a wrecking crew. I was on the phone with my partner, Steve Carter. Many of you guys probably don't know who he is. SVP, multimillionaire out of this company many years ago, him and his wife. Then I'm on the phone with Pat, and it's like why most people don't get to some. I've been saying this in my conversations over the week. Why most people don't get to 7 figures in life, not talking about network marketing, make it very clear in the disclaimer, is because once they get to 40, they're too tired. So they become intelligent derelicts with opinions. Everyone clears $1 million in their lifetime, even if you live off the government. But most either overthink or are exhausted and want to give you opinions after 35, 40. There's a rare breed that lives into their purpose of who they are still becoming, to understand at 40 is not when the tank is supposed to be empty. At 40 over is where the wisdom kicks in. That's where the knowledge kicks in. That's why Colonel Sanders didn't make his money until after 50, 60 years old. This is why Warren Buffett, you want to hear about all these young bucks making this money, keep watching the young bucks make money. Guaranteed they'll all lose it at least twice before they get to 40. It's not about the money. It's about it's about the knowledge and the wisdom to keep it and expand it. Everybody's in a rush. I'm not in a rush, but I definitely don't have a snail's pace. I'm definitely not looking for snails, and I'm not looking for a bullet train, but I am looking for every day I see something different in my life. Every day I see something moving in my life. You know, every day something is converting in my life. I need to see something every day. I need to see something in me every day, which means me, if I don't see me and somebody else that's around me and I don't see something changing in them, you know, everybody has the same opportunity. What you do with it is totally up to you. People that are going to quit are going to quit. That's what they do. That's what quitters do. Some quit early, some quit late. Some have quit and stayed in the business acting like they've been in the business for the last 2 years. People do what they do. They look like they're in the business. They show up. You see them on the calls all the time. Hey, how you doing? Oh, it's a great day. Same place, same spot. Already sealed up. The cement's already dried up to their waist. They ain't going nowhere, but you can see just the waist because you're on Zoom. But they sitting there in some cement like, they ain't going nowhere. They're going to be sitting right there 20 years from now in the same place, faking it like nobody can see them. Ostriches putting their head in the sand, but nobody can see their ass. Yes, we see you. We see you. Jillian, did I answer your question properly? Okay. All right, baby. Any other questions? Talk to me. Y'all got about 5 more minutes. I'm done.
One last question for Mr. Nelson. One last question, everybody. One last question. Going once? Going twice?
Beautiful morning, phenomenal Friday, Mr. Nelson. How are you?
Awesome,
This is
man.
Edna. I just have a question in regarding recruiting up, the mentality, the attitude, the means of recruiting up to a higher level and a higher circle of people.
Uh-huh. How do you do it is what you're asking?
Yes, your thoughts, how you've been doing it.
I think if you talk to enough people, you'll find the people you're looking for. In fact, I don't think I know. You're gonna, if you talk to enough people and you set about it's kind of like Grant Cardone lives by it, Al Thomas lives by it, Tony Robbins lives by it, I live by it. Anybody lives at a certain frequency. It's called being definitive in your request of the universe. Being definitive in your request for the universe. That means if I'm going to get married, she has to have this, 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 and this. If I have a house, it needs to have this, 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 and this. If I'm going to build a team, the prospects, the suspects, because they are both sometimes, they have to have this, 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 and this. And what will happen is you'll talk to somebody as you grow, exactly 100%, Julian, as you grow the level, put that back up. I was going to say that's the simple answer, but I want to go a little bit deeper, but that's exactly the answer. As you grow the level of person you attract will level up to by default, the law of attraction. But what happens is I attract, or if I sit down with hypothetically Daryl, or if I sit down with Winston, or if I sit down with Belinda, they're going to bring me somebody. If I tell them what I'm looking for, bring me the 5, 6, 10 most successful people you know, they're going to bring me somebody who's better than me. That's how you level up, because you got to up your conversation based on who you're talking to. You're no longer talking to your sister Belinda. You're no longer talking to your brother Winston. They just brought you 10 people that make 3 times, 5 times the amount of money they do. And now your conversation there. So if you don't up the quality, if you have not been working on self, if you have not been developing your conversation, if you have your communication skills, your interpersonal skills, your understanding of the business, your grasp of understanding ACN, understanding exactly the compensation, if you have not truly elevated who you aren't going to be able to talk to somebody that's making 3 times more than you. So you aren't going to attract them. But the harder you work on yourself, the better your conversation comes. Now you're prepped and ready for talking to somebody who just came over here from China that owns 5 companies. Now you're prepped to talking to somebody who has an import-export company from here all the way to Mexico, all the way through the southern border. Now you're prepped to talk to somebody who's doing business in several different countries beyond you, instead of being intimidated by, oh, I'm trying to get you into a $200 business. And you can make $100 here and $100 there, and you're already doing $1 million a month. I don't know really what to say to you. You say $5 added up enough times turns into multiple $1 million paid in residual income. And you can stop and it continues to hit your bank account. There's no intimidation there. So hopefully that helps a little bit. It's going to be a beautiful Friday. It's going to be a beautiful week.